Walking into Panera can feel overwhelming with all those menu boards and options staring back at you. Maybe you default to the same sandwich every time, or maybe you wonder if you're actually getting the best thing they offer. Today, we're breaking down the top 3 items at Panera that are worth your money and your calories, plus 2 items you should absolutely skip, backed by real nutrition data and smart ordering tricks that most people completely miss. Your side choice actually matters more than most people think, and this is wild. The default options are a French baguette, chips, or an apple. That baguette adds 180 calories and 450 milligrams of sodium. The chips are 150 calories. The apple is only 80 calories. Swapping that baguette for an apple saves you 100 calories and nearly half a gram of sodium. That's a massive difference when you're trying to keep things balanced, and it's literally just clicking a different button. Now let's talk about bread bowls because everyone loves them, but nobody talks about what they actually do to your meal. With broccoli cheddar soup, the bread bowl adds around 550 calories compared to just getting a regular bowl. With mac and cheese, it adds about 190 calories. These aren't bad choices. They're just choices you should make on purpose, not by accident. Real talk though, sometimes you just want the bread bowl and that's valid. All right, let's get to number 3 on our good list. The Cinnamon Crunch Bagel is one of those bakery items that Panera is genuinely known for. This thing has cinnamon and vanilla chips baked right into the dough, then the whole outside gets coated in crunchy cinnamon sugar. When you bite into it, you get that soft, warm inside with the caramelized sugar shell on the outside. It's basically dessert disguised as breakfast. It's 430 calories for just the bagel, with 82 grams of carbs and 32 grams of sugar. That's a lot of sweetness packed into one item. If you add their plain cream cheese, that's another 180 calories and 17 grams of fat. So you're looking at over 600 calories before you've even had your coffee. Here's how to enjoy this without feeling like you just ate half your daily calories before noon. Split it, share it with someone, or save half for later. You can also ask for a light spread of cream cheese instead of the full amount. That cuts down on both calories and fat while you still get the flavor. If you're pairing it with something, go with black coffee or unsweetened tea. Don't stack sweetness on sweetness unless you're trying to crash by 11 a.m. The bagel contains wheat and milk because of those vanilla chips. So if you have allergies, check with the staff about cross-contact since everything gets made in the same bakery kitchen. Number 2 on our good picks is the Fuji Apple Chicken Salad, and this one shows up on Best of Panera lists constantly. You get mixed greens with arugula and romaine, grilled chicken, red onions, grape tomatoes, gorgonzola cheese, toasted pecans, and apple chips. The dressing is a sweet white balsamic with Fuji apple vinaigrette. The combination of textures is what makes this work. You've got the crunch from the apple chips and pecans, the creaminess from the gorgonzola, the tang from the dressing, and actual protein from the chicken. It hits different than most fast casual salads. A half salad is 280 calories with 16 grams of fat, 480 milligrams of sodium, and 17 grams of protein. The whole salad doubles that to 560 calories and 33 grams of protein. If you have a nut allergy or just don't like pecans, Panera actually publishes separate nutrition info for the salad without pecans. It's lower in both fat and calories that way. You can also skip the cheese if you're sensitive to dairy. The dressing carries most of the flavor anyway, so the salad still tastes good without it. Not gonna lie, the apple chips are the real MVP here. Here's a smart way to order this. Get a half Fuji salad and pair it with a cup of soup. That's the classic fresh plus comfort combination that actually makes sense. Choose the apple as your side to keep your total calories around 600 and your sodium more controlled. If you need more protein, ask for extra chicken or pair the salad with a different soup that's leaner. The salad contains milk from the gorgonzola and tree nuts from the pecans in the standard build. Cross-contact with wheat is possible in their kitchen, so heads up if you're celiac. Coming in at number 1 on our good list is the Toasted Frontega Chicken on black pepper focaccia. This is Panera's hot-pressed sandwich with smoked pulled chicken, fresh mozzarella, tomatoes, red onions, fresh basil, and chipotle aioli. The focaccia bread gives you that peppery crunch, the mozzarella and tomatoes bring the comfort, and the basil brightens everything up. The chipotle aioli adds a mild heat that most people can handle. It's basically an elevated grilled cheese with chicken, and honestly, it slaps. Here's where the numbers get serious, though. A half sandwich is 390 calories with 1,180 milligrams of sodium and 23 grams of protein. The whole sandwich is 790 calories with 2,360 milligrams of sodium. That whole sandwich nearly maxes out your entire daily sodium limit by itself. The American Heart Association says you should aim for no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day, and ideally closer to 1,500 for most adults. So if you're watching your sodium, the half sandwich is the move. Pair it with something that's not loaded with salt, or you're basically asking for a headache later. If you're sensitive to heat, ask for light chipotle aioli, or get it on the side so you control how much goes on. Some locations will press it extra if you ask, which makes the focaccia even crunchier. For balance, pair a half Frontega with a half Fuji Apple Chicken Salad or a fruit side. You get your protein and richness from the sandwich, and the salad or fruit adds freshness without piling on more sodium. The sandwich contains wheat from the focaccia and milk from the mozzarella. Cross-contact happens in shared kitchens, so talk to the manager if you have severe allergies. Better safe than sorry. Now let's get to the two items you should absolutely stay away from. These aren't just high calorie or high sodium. These are the kind of numbers that can wreck your entire day in one meal, and most people have no idea until they check the nutrition facts later. First item to avoid is the toasted Italiano on baguette, and this is specifically the whole sandwich. This thing clocks in at 1,280 calories and a completely ridiculous 4,200 milligrams of sodium. Let me say that again. 4,200 milligrams of sodium. That's nearly double the entire daily sodium limit recommended by the FDA and the American Heart Association in just one sandwich. Even the half sandwich has 2,100 milligrams of sodium, which is still almost a full day's worth. If you're craving that Italian flavor profile with the meats and cheese, there are way better options. Try the ciabatta cheesesteak as a half sandwich instead. You get 530 calories and 940 milligrams of sodium, which is still high, but it's not insane like the Italiano. Or go with a half turkey and cheddar on country rustic sourdough and ask for no mayo and extra tomatoes. You'll save yourself from a massive sodium bomb and probably feel better for the rest of the day. Second item to avoid is the bacon mac and cheese in a bowl or bread bowl. The regular bowl without the bread is already 1,050 calories with 2,620 milligrams of sodium. If you get it in a bread bowl, you're looking at 1,190 calories and 2,470 milligrams of sodium. Either way, that's an entire day's worth of sodium for most adults in one dish. The regular mac and cheese without bacon is already pretty heavy at 960 calories and 2,300 milligrams of sodium for a bowl, but adding bacon pushes it into truly excessive territory. Listen, mac and cheese is comfort food and Panera's version is genuinely good. But if you want it, make it a cup instead of a bowl. A cup of regular mac and cheese is 480 calories with 1,150 milligrams of sodium. That's still a lot, but it's manageable when you pair it with a half salad that's light on dressing. You get the creamy comfort without completely destroying your sodium intake for the day. Let's talk about some popular items that didn't make the top 3, but are still solid choices when you order smart. The broccoli cheddar soup is probably Panera's most famous item. This is the soup that built their reputation for comfort food. It's a creamy cheese-based soup with chopped broccoli and shredded carrots. The texture is velvety without being too thick. The cheese flavor is strong, but not overwhelming, and the vegetables actually feel like a real part of the soup, not just an afterthought. Let's break down the sizes because this matters. A cup, which is one actual cup, is 240 calories with 16 grams of fat, 1,010 milligrams of sodium, 17 grams of carbs, and 8 grams of protein. A bowl, which is 1.5 cups, goes up to 360 calories with 1,520 milligrams of sodium and 13 grams of protein. The bread bowl version jumps to 910 calories with 2,170 milligrams of sodium and 147 grams of carbs. That bread bowl adds about 550 calories compared to just getting a regular bowl. Wild numbers. If you love bread with your soup but don't want all those calories, get a cup of soup with a side baguette. That lands you around 420 calories total, and you still get the soup and bread experience without going overboard. Here's how to order this soup the right way. If you want the flavor but not the huge portion, choose a cup and pair it with a protein-focused half sandwich or a salad in a you pick two. That keeps your portion in check while you get a full meal. If you're watching sodium, remember that restaurant soups are almost always high in sodium, even vegetarian ones. A bowl of broccoli cheddar at 1,520 milligrams already puts you at or over half your daily sodium limit. Make the soup the only high sodium thing in your meal. Choose an apple or fruit cup as your side and pair it with a salad instead of a salty sandwich. Your body will thank you later. For protein, pair the cup with a half Frontega chicken, which adds 23 grams of protein and gives you warmth plus savory flavor. If you love bread, either get the bowl with a side baguette or the cup with a side baguette. Both options give you that bread and soup combo without the 550 extra calories from the bread bowl. The soup contains milk and wheat, and Panera classifies it as vegetarian, which under their rules means it can have milk, eggs, and animal-derived enzymes. Always check the ingredient and allergen notices at the actual cafe if you have strict dietary needs. They're usually posted near the registers. Mac and cheese is another Panera staple that people ask about constantly. It's shell pasta and a blend of rich cheeses, including white cheddar sauce. The shells hold on to that creamy sauce better than other pasta shapes, which is why the texture works so well. A cup of regular mac is 480 calories with 32 grams of fat, 1,150 milligrams of sodium, 34 grams of carbs, and 16 grams of protein. Like we said earlier, the bowl and bread bowl versions get out of control fast, especially if you add bacon. Stick with a cup if you're getting it at all. The smart move is pairing a cup of mac with a half salad in a you pick two. The cup of mac plus a half Fuji Apple Chicken Salad gives you creamy and crisp without blowing past your daily sodium limit. Swap the baguette side for an apple to save another 100 calories and 450 milligrams of sodium. The mac contains wheat and milk, and Panera labels it as vegetarian under their definition, which allows milk, eggs, and animal-derived enzymes. So not vegan, just to be clear. Now let's talk about actually building better meals at Panera because this is where most people fumble. The You Pick 2 is your main tool for balancing flavors and nutrition. Try a cup of broccoli cheddar with a half Fuji Apple Chicken Salad and an apple side. That's comfort plus freshness for around 600 calories, with most of the sodium coming from just the soup. For higher protein and controlled calories, go with a half Frontega plus a cup of home-style chicken noodle and a fruit cup side. That gives you 40 to 45 grams of protein with lower saturated fat than pairing two creamy items, and the calorie total stays manageable for lunch. You're not going to be in a food coma at 2 p.m. If you want indulgent with a clean finish, get a cup of mac and cheese plus a half Greek salad with chicken or a half Fuji, and choose a pickle spear as your side. The salad keeps the mac satisfying without making you feel stuffed, and the pickle adds crunch with almost no calories. Just be aware it does add about 240 milligrams of sodium. For soup-focused comfort without the bread bowl, get a bowl of broccoli cheddar with an apple side. You get all the big soup comfort while saving 550 calories compared to the bread bowl version. Sometimes the simplest order is the best order. Value duets are useful when you're flexible about exactly what you want. These are preset combinations that Panera offers at a lower price than building your own You Pick 2. Historically, they've been promoted in the $6 to $8 range, though pricing changes by location and over time. You give up the ability to customize, but you save money. If one of the preset pairs matches what you're craving, it's an easy way to spend less. In this economy, every dollar counts. Your side choice is actually one of the biggest levers you have for controlling your meal, and people sleep on this. Swapping a baguette for an apple saves about 100 calories and 450 milligrams of sodium. Going from chips to a fruit cup saves around 90 calories and adds fiber. A pickle spear is basically calorie-free, but adds sodium. Choose it when calories are your concern, not sodium. Understanding bread bowls is important. With broccoli cheddar, the bread bowl adds about 550 calories versus a regular bowl. With mac and cheese, it adds about 190 calories but pushes your carbs and sodium higher. Use bread bowls as a planned treat, Not a default choice. They're fire, but they're not an everyday thing. Let's talk about allergens and dietary information because Panera is clear about their limitations. Their allergen guide covers the 9 major FDA allergens, but they tell you to speak with a cafe manager for specific ingredient statements. Many products may come in contact with common allergens including wheat, peanuts, soy, tree nuts, milk, eggs, fish, shellfish, and sesame. When Panera labels something vegetarian, that means it allows milk, eggs, and rennet or enzymes from animal sources. That's why mac and cheese can be labeled vegetarian even though it contains dairy. If you avoid animal-derived rennet, you need to verify the specific cheeses they use. Don't just assume. Panera states clearly that their kitchen is not a gluten-free environment. Cross-contact is possible with wheat and other allergens. If you have celiac disease or a severe wheat allergy, you need to discuss your options with your doctor and with the cafe staff. Panera has publicized a list of artificial ingredients they avoid, which they call the no-no list. This includes no artificial preservatives, sweeteners, flavors, or artificial colors. However, Reuters reported in 2024 that Panera loosened some internal standards around animal welfare language and certain sourcing rules. The no-no list claims about artificial ingredients remain, but if these attributes matter to you, check the current labels and product pages. Things change fast in the restaurant industry. About beverages, the Unlimited Sip Club covers drip hot coffee, iced coffee, hot tea, fountain sodas, and select bubbler drinks. It does not include cold brew, espresso drinks, smoothies, or some other categories. Members can redeem every 2 hours and get refills while in the cafe. Terms vary and change, so check Panera's page for current details. Multiple outlets reported in 2024 that Panera discontinued their high caffeine charged sips line due to safety concerns. The FDA says that about 400 milligrams of caffeine per day is generally safe for most healthy adults, but sensitivity varies a lot from person to person. Know your limits. 2 numbers are worth remembering when you order at Panera, and I'm being dead serious about this. For sodium, the American Heart Association guidance says aim for no more than 2,300 milligrams per day, with 1,500 milligrams being ideal for most adults, especially if you have high blood pressure. Restaurant soups and sandwiches are usually big sodium sources. Check the sodium line in Panera's nutrition table whenever you're building a UPIC 2. For caffeine, most healthy adults can handle up to about 400 milligrams per day without problems. But again, everyone is different. If you order large iced teas or sodas often, take advantage of the Sip Club's variety and mix in some decaf or herbal options. Balance is key. Here's the bottom line. Start with a UPIC 2. Anchor one half with something fresh like the Fuji Apple Chicken Salad. Let the other half be your comfort pick, whether that's a cup of broccoli cheddar or a cup of mac and cheese. Pick an apple or fruit cup when you want to keep calories and sodium under control. Save bread bowls for when you really want that experience, not as your everyday choice. Use value duets when a preset pairing works for you and you want to save a few dollars. And whatever you do, skip the Toasted Italiano, whole sandwich, and the bacon mac and cheese bowl. Those 2 items are sodium nightmares that will wreck your entire day. With this guide and these numbers, you can walk into Panera and order exactly what you want without second-guessing yourself.